Okay guys, so this is just going to be a quick video on how to use numbers. Some of the features a lot of you guys are probably not familiar with yet. So numbers, if you don't know what it is, it's this green little app that I have in my bottom right hand corner that looks like a little bar graph. And when I open it up, it would normally be a blank presentation. Everything would be white, no text or anything like that. But I've already kind of started to make one for you guys. So you can see here that I have started with my title slide, just like you should start with your title slide. I've got the name of the presentation, which is our Newton Sports Project. I've got the name of my sport, which I did not want to use any of the sports that you guys are using, so I made up a fake one, and I'm calling it the sport of flower picking. Obviously, it's not real, but that's the point. And then I've got my name, and I've got the class period. Now, obviously, this is not the most beautiful slide in the world, but it gets the job done. It's got the color, it's got the text it needs, and up at the top, up here, I have it labeled as title, like I should. When I go to my next slide, that should be all about my sport. And you can see I have a title, flower picking. I have a picture that kind of shows the audience what my sport is kind of like. And I've also got a caption at the bottom of my photo. Now, for my audio clip for this slide, I'm going to play it. Hello, this is all about flower picking. It's not every single rule about flower picking as a sport, but it's enough so that if someone is watching this and they don't know what flower picking is, they'll know enough about it to understand how Newton's laws apply later on in the presentation. Right, so that's really all you're looking for. Obviously, that's not an example of what your clip should be like, but it tells you the things that you should have in your clip, okay? So then my next slide should be the first law defined, right? Now you can see I haven't done that yet, and we're gonna do that slide together. But before we do that, I want you to see my first law explained slide, okay? So I've got Newton's first law of motion up at the top as my title. I've got a nice picture here, and this picture should be representative of how my chosen sport relates to Newton's first law. Obviously, this flower doesn't really relate. It's not a real sport, right? But I do have a caption that says the flower is an example of Newton's first law of motion. I've got some color going on. It looks okay. Down here in my bottom left-hand corner, I've also got my vocabulary. Now, my vocabulary are the words that I am going to say in my explanation, okay? And I'd prefer it if you'd put them in order. So when I press this little sound button over here, as you're explaining how your sport relates to the first law, I should hear you use these words, okay? You should use the words in meaningful ways. Hello, this is an example of Newton's first law of motion. Here's why. I'm giving a very in-depth explanation, and I'm using all of these vocabulary words that I have on the slide, because Ms. Potter is going to sit here and go through every one of these and make sure that I say it and I use it appropriately in my explanation. Right. So this is just kind of an example of what your first law explained slide could look like, different things that you can do. So now we're going to go through and I'm going to teach you how to just make a slide and do the basic things that you need to be able to do. So in order to make a new sheet, I don't know if you saw, but I hit this plus sign in the upper left corner right here and it made that new sheet for me. If I make one too many, I'm just going to click on it and then I'm going to hit delete. No harm done. Now every time you make a new sheet, it's going to go through and put a table on here, and odds are you don't want a table. So I'm going to go right below the plus sign that we just hit and hit the little blue circle in the upper left corner of the table, and I'm just going to hit delete and get rid of the whole thing. Okay, so however you start your slide is up to you. I would go through and I'm going to title it, and we're going to call this first law explained, because I need to go through and add that. Done. Oh, I didn't save it right. First law explained. Is there a reason this is not working right now? Maybe because I don't have anything on it yet. Okay, so let's say I want to go through and I want to put a picture. Where do I go to get that picture? I'm going to hit this plus sign up here. I have all of these different options. I can hit tables, I can make charts, I can make shapes or text, but I want to insert an image, but I have to find that image first. So I'm going to go to Google, type in whatever. Let's just choose another random flower picking photo. Well, we're doing Newton's first law, right? So let's just type in, well, I don't want you guys, I don't want to spoil it for you. I'm going to use another flower picking picture, but yours can be anything related to Newton's first law. It does not have to be specific to your sport unless you want it to be, okay? So now I'm going to go back to my numbers document. I'm going to hit image gallery, and then in this bottom right hand corner I'm going to hit the plus sign, and then it should be in my recents. I can hit done, and then boom, there it is. Okay, now I can move it around. I can make it bigger. It kind of reveals more of the picture as I go, right? It automatically puts a caption box here, so I'm gonna say, I'd probably define what it is. Newton's, I'm terrible at typing on the iPad, don't judge me. Newton's first law of motion states, and then blah, 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 blah. And I might put that on there as my caption. Who knows what you choose to do. Now, also on this slide, I need a title, right? So in order to get a text box on the screen, I need to hit that plus sign up here again. But I want to go over to the shapes and then just hit text, and it'll show up on the middle of the screen, okay? So double tap it to edit the text, and then I'm going to put in Newton's first law, because that's what this slide is all about, or whatever. And then that's not very visually appealing, right? So I'm going to hit that just so it's highlighted. Then I'm going to use this paintbrush up here to the left of that plus sign we were using. And from there, I have different options, but I'm using text right now. I'm going to bold it. I'm going to make it bigger. And then I'm going to change the color of it. I can choose whatever color I want. Let's do this slide blue. Let's do a dark blue. Okay. And I can do that down here for my caption too if I want to. Maybe. Paintbrush, color, dark blue. There we go. Okay. We still haven't done anything to the background yet, so if you just have nothing highlighted and hit the paintbrush, it'll give you the option to choose the color of your background. I think a nice lighter blue would be pretty here. Ooh, or a green, that might look nice. I'm gonna go with green. So I've got my title, I've got a picture, I've got a caption where I'll probably say what the first law of motion is. And then I just need to go through and I need to make my voice clip now, okay? So I need to hit this plus sign again. Everything is hidden up in that little plus sign. Now I want to go back over here where we inserted our image, right? But instead I'm going to hit record audio. Now as soon as I hit this green button down here, it's going to start recording my voice, okay? So record, record, record. I got to hit stop. I can hit record, record, record. And it tells me what it's going to sound like. If I don't like it, that's okay. You can edit it over here, or since you're doing really fast clips, I would just insert it, and then if I don't like it, I would delete it, and I would try it again, okay? So I'm going to add another one. I'm going to go to record audio. I'm going to hit. This is where I'd really explain what Newton's first law of motion is and what it does. I like that one a lot more. I'm going to hit insert. It appears on the screen. You can leave it in the middle, but it covers up your picture, so I kind of drag mine down here. And then when I go back and play it later, I'm going to hit. This is where I really explain what Newton's first law of motion is and what it does. So you can kind of see how this works. I'm going to try one more time to change this title up here. First law defined. done. There we go. Okay. I think you just had to have something on it before you could change the name. So now you can see I've got a good ways through my little fake presentation about flower picking. And I hope that this kind of shows you how to do most of the things on numbers. The only thing that we haven't really done, I guess, is save it or share it or whatever. It should save automatically. I haven't saved this at all, but when I back out and go back to my spreadsheets, it's already saved that for me on my iPad. It's so nice. It saves it in the app, and when I pull it back up, I'm good to go. If I want to share it, I can hit these three dots right here and hit share. And then I have lots of options for what I can do. I am going to share mine to, I am going to share mine. Wait, I don't want to share. I'm sorry, you want to export it. My bad. Hit export right here underneath the share and then hit PDF. And you know, I'm just thinking about this. I don't think that you guys are going to be able to submit this as a PDF because I think you'll lose the voice clips. You guys are just going to share this as a regular presentation. So you can just not share it, not export it, not anything at all. But when you go to your actual Schoology to turn this in, you would just upload the entire numbers file. So sorry about that at the end. Just upload the entire numbers file, okay? And let me know if you have any questions. Don't know how to move things around, don't know how to change colors or whatever, just let me know.